morning. It's 17th of December 2020. I'm just going to do the morning analysis on the daily candles. Hopefully we get to look at some hourly charts as well. Let's start with the euro. Euro is breaking out of this range it's been in since early December. Now, it's probably better to look at the hourly chart just to see how much of a how sideways it's been basically since the start of December. And yesterday, after a choppy open, had this big breakout. We got to 122.15, which I've been mentioning as a resistance area, which was a support back in 2018. If you have a look at the weekly chart, you can see what I mean, or watch yesterday's analysis video. We came back. We tested the breakout area. We put in a lower high, and then we sold off all of the gains made from that breakout. So this was a kind of a false breakout, and it seemed like the euro was going to crash and maybe test the lows. We got midway through the range, and then we recovered overnight. The Fed was 7 o'clock. So yeah. So this spike down was probably something that Powell would have said, and then the market changed its mind, and we've been pushing higher overnight, and already this morning, this candle looks like a exhaustion bar to me. Let's see what happens around here, because we're starting to see some wicks being put in. So now that we're through this 122.15, possibly this might become support later on in today's session. If we close below that, then have a look at these highs that were the top of the resistance of the range that we've been in since December. So EU has been particularly choppy the last couple of weeks, and I'm not sure if I trust this breakout yet or not. But it seems to be on a bit of a tear. So let's see what happens. If you compare this with the way that Aussie dollars are broken out this morning, you can see what I mean. This is the range in Aussie. This might have been the actual support area. This is a false breakout. This is a pin bar. And since then, AU has just been on an absolute tear up, and we broke out overnight, and we haven't come back since. It's funny because the system I trade, the hour one system, doesn't have a single signal. Everything is broken out already today, so I got plenty of time to do this video. I might stay on here for hours. GUs in December. Already talked about this, but we've been particularly choppy because of all this Brexit talk that's been going on. But it seems like GU has found a bid here. The pound is really buoyant because of this dollar weakness, I expect. But this 133 handle has been particularly poor, and it's acted as a support and resistance over the last couple of months, and we found support off it here. And once we closed above, we've been on a bit of a tear up since. So we're testing resistance here. This is the trend line that I've put in, which is not very exact, but as you can see, it's held as resistance a few times. We chopped around these two candles. And now we are testing it again, but we are through this September 1st high again, and the monthly close is particularly important with GU because this trend line here is on the monthly chart, and it's held firm for a decade. So a close above this, and we might see the pound start to claim back some of the losses over the last 10 years. but still pretty choppy. I just mentioned in the chat that I think this is kind of a buy the rumor, sell the fact kind of move with the pounds, and even when the EU kind of reaches a deal, I think we see some of these gains made reversed, and we'll start to consolidate. I can't see once the deal's been made that we push higher. So I think traders starting to get ahead of themselves here. And, whether there's a deal or not, I think we'll see the pound sell off a bit, but even more so if there's a no deal. UY, I spoke about this candle here, how if we couldn't see UY go and test this double top here, or even if we had a small follow through bar after a candle like this, and after this false breakout here, that we may see UY rotate and test this support area again. But I was kind of right and wrong, because it didn't take a day to do that. We didn't get any day follow through or any kind of follow through whatsoever. We just had this kind of reversal set up. The very next day we gave all of those gains back in UY, and we closed below it yesterday. We've seen some follow through this morning, so we're at a kind of interesting level here. It was the lower November. We seem to testing it, and it seems to be providing some support at the moment. But this kind of channel that we've been in for the second half of the year is where I've got my eye on, and I think a test of that could be on the cards. And below that is the lower the year 101 that we got to in February when COVID happened. So I remembered a few years ago, UJ just absolutely sold off a whole bunch. So I got my eye on it this year to see if we're going to get something similar. GY, not so. Excuse me, just reading the message. Not the same as GU. We still haven't got above this resistance area. That was kind of the resistance of this ascending triangle. Although we broke the downside of it, we're now back at this 140, 140.35 level. So big resistance here. Depending on what GU does and UJ, this pair is kind of getting pulled from either direction through this recent dollar weakness that we've seen. So it's pretty choppy to trade in the hour one time frame. But I think if we can close above this 140.60 area, then we go on to test this 142.71 in the near future, especially after this false breakout and this gap open that we haven't even we tested once or twice, but didn't close the entire thing. So that's a bit of a bullish sign, and this price action is starting to look a little bit more bullish. So, but all comes down to these Brexit comments and everything like that. So I'm not that invested in pound at the moment. I'd rather wait until this deal is out the way. EJ, this range that I've had marked up, we had a slight false breakout yesterday, and we're still a bit slow grinding higher. It wasn't the biggest of false breakouts, but it was, if you look at, it was a false breakout on the hourly chart. Let's just go onto that a minute. You can see it's quite nice. This is a perfect double bottom creating the structure of this range really well. And we did close below it and then rallied immediately and closed back inside the range almost halfway. Now, again, we're just grinding higher, and I really hate these grinding markets, especially when trading breakouts. They're they're extremely tough, but this is the only signal I had on today, which is a break of this high, and my stop would be below here to go and test the higher of the range, and this little breakout here will mean that I'll try for that, because I think we should test the top side of this range, especially after this false breakout. So it just gives me a little bit more confirmation with this trade, but it hasn't been very good to us since the start of December. The sideways action is good for trading breakouts, but let's see what happens. The longer the range, the further the breakout is what I notice. So let's see what happens with EY. AU we've talked about a little bit. UC, quite interesting. I won't show you the hourly because I've spoken too much on it. But I thought we were going to get this. I thought we were going to see a break above this trend line that we've been in since the start of December, and we've formed since breaking out of that 129.50 handle. We're starting to see a bit of a bottom here, but every time the bulls try and rally, it's completely rejected by the bears, and something similar happened yesterday. Had a push, break above this trend line, which has been pretty important, but then straight away we're back down at the lows this morning. So so big pressure here by the bears. Let's see what happens at this support area. But this is kind of consolidation also. I mean, we haven't been able to break above this 128. So let's see what happens here. I expect that we just consolidate in this range until the end of this week at least, and probably into the start of next year, because we've already come quite a long way in UC. EA testing this important support area, which has been the support for the whole of this year, basically. As you can see, back here in June, we didn't get to those levels, slightly elevated for the rest of the summer, but now we're back testing it in towards the end of the year. Below this is the actual 2020 low, but let's see what happens around this area. It's a bit late on in the year for a push like this, but it's starting to look pretty heavy, this pair. So keep an eye on 160.50 going into this week. Gold, since breaking out of this trend line that I've been talking about, we had this false break here. We tested it again, tested it last week, and this week we broke straight through it. So I can see that the resistance of this trend channel is the next place that we test. Especially there's a lot of room to the left and a lot of fresh air here, and this is big momentum. So I'm not sure why I don't have the volumes on this chart, so I'll have to get those on, but I imagine the volumes are there to support this move. Let's see what happens here in gold. Anyway, guys, I need to start trading, so I'll leave you with that today. Good luck with your trading today. Have a good one.